Let's see if you can do it. 2.5 minutes of general knowledge starting now. Which future pop star formed a group called the Quarrymen in his native Liverpool when he left school in 1956?
John Lennon.
Yep. What animal is sealed in a box in a famous thought experiment devised by the physicist Erwin Schrödinger?
Cat.
Yep. In his 1887 work, The Canterville Ghost, Oscar Wilde wrote, "We have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course..."
Culture.
Language. Which country was partitioned between Germany and the Soviet Union in September 1939?
Poland.
Yep. Who created the Elvish languages for the fantasy world that his books were set in?
Tolkien.
Yep. What machine invented in the 18th century by the English engineer John Kay substantially improved both output and quality in the manufacture of textiles?
Spinning frame.
The flying shuttle. Who first came to fame on the radio show Hancock's Half Hour with his catchphrase, "Here, stop messing about"?
Sid James.
Kenneth Williams. The 3rd century BC Greek poet and astronomer Eratosthenes of Cyrene is thought to be the first person to have provided a detailed measurement of the circumference of what?
The Earth.
Yes. Which Northern Irish golfer won the silver medal as the highest-placed amateur in his first major tournament, the 2007 Open at Carnoustie?
McIlroy.
Yep. What name that comes from the Spanish for little fleet is given to a fleet often made up of small ships?
Flotilla.
Yes. Which 1979 #1 hit by Buggles was appropriately the first video played on MTV when it went on the air in 1981?
Video killed a radio star.
Yeah. Which Asian country is the world's largest producer of beer with an annual output of nearly 50 billion litres? That's roughly a quarter of the global supply.
Thailand.
China. The Spectre agent Rosa Klebb, who has a poison knife blade in the toe of her shoe, is a villain in which Bond film?
Goldfinger.
From Russia with Love. Which plant with a long forked root was thought in medieval times to utter a shriek when it was pulled from the ground?
Mandrake.
Yeah. Which veteran of the Falklands War is the subject of a portrait by Nicky Phillips unveiled at the National Portrait Gallery in 2014?
Western.
Yep. An orchestra tunes its instruments to the note A, usually played by which woodwind instrument?
Oboe.
Yep. In Greek mythology, Zeus's cupbearer, the beautiful youth Ganymede, was abducted by a bird of what species?
A raven.
Eagle. Which national park, the largest in Britain, includes Arctic landscape on its high tops as well as the more fertile valleys of the rivers Spey, Don and Dee?
Cairngorms.
Correct. What is the name of the city and the small country that occupies a strategic location in the Horn of Africa? The country was known as French Somaliland from 1888 to 1967.
Yemen.
Djibouti. In which sport did Trina Gulliver become the first women's world champion in 2001? She went on to win the title a further 8 times.
Ski jumping.
No, it was darts.